the last 4-5 days, every day is a special day for India. In the last 4-5 days, every day is a special day for India. January 24th, National Girl Child Day. January 25th, National Voters Day. January 26th is the Republic Day. January 26th, 1950 is special to us. On that particular day, our constitution have come into force. Our constitutional values will be remembered on January 26th every day. Even on this occasion of 76th Republic Day, President Draupadi Murmu asked all the citizens of India to remember and uplift the values in the Indian Constitution. So, for every Republic Day, we have a convention. We will invite the chief guest, one chief guest, from the country with which we have very good relation, friendly country, cordial relation, and with which we expect to develop some strategic and more better relations. This year we have invited Prabowo Subianto, Indonesian president, as our Republic Day chief guest. And this is the fourth time in the last 76 years we have invited Indonesian presidents. Especially we have to mention the first Republic Day chief guest was Sukarno of Indonesia, who was very close to our first Prime Minister Pandit Nehru. In fact, Pandit Nehru and Sukarno, along with Nkrumah of Ghana, Nasser of Egypt, they all founded non-alignment movement or non-aligned movement. They are the founding fathers of NAM. Indonesia and India have a shared value. Indonesia is the fourth largest populous country in the world. Indonesia and Indonesia form part of India's Act East policy. Indonesia and India are members in BRICS now, East Asia Summit, and more importantly, Indian culture and Indian values are being adhered, appreciated in Indonesia. Indian mythological bird Garuda was the name of Indonesian Airlines. In the yesterday's visit, Indonesian president also spoke about the protection and freedom of navigation in South China Sea. India-Indonesia relations are trending right now, and India is aiming to enhance relations with Indonesia. Particularly, India purchases palm oil from Indonesia. India also purchases various products from Indonesia, and we are aiming to enhance our trade relations, and we have a very big target of our trade relations also with Indonesia. So coming back, the next interesting thing, January 27th today, Uttarakhand is going to implement Uniform Civil Code from today. Uttarakhand is all set to implement the Uniform Civil Code from today, making it the first state to make it as a law that will bring uniformity in society while ensuring equal rights and responsibilities to all citizens. In the Indian Constitution, in our Directive Principles, Article 44 deals with UCC. As it is a directive principle, it is not enforceable. It is the option of the government or the state whether to adopt Uniform Civil Code or not. In India, if you observe, in Goa we have UCC, which was driven by Portuguese idea. Now, Uttarakhand government have made a very big exercise from the last 2 years and invited many suggestions, and finally it adopted a code called Uniform Civil Code. The Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand seeks to establish a uniform and equal set of rules with respect to marriage, divorce, succession, inheritance for all the citizens in the state except the scheduled tribes. The new Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand makes registration of all marriages and also live-in relationships compulsory. Not only marriages, but also registration of living relations compulsory. And the registration and termination process for living relationships has also been simplified. So, Uttarakhand Civil Code is coming into force from today. This is an interesting news. And there is a good news from ISRO. Fantastic news from ISRO. If you see in the recent past, ISRO is showing good enthusiasm, and every month there will be some successful launch from ISRO in the recent past. ISRO gears up for 100th rocket launch with the GSLV F-15 mission. The Indian Space Research Organization is getting to launch its NVS-02 satellite, that is second generation Navik, at 6:23 am on January 29th, 2025, that's day after tomorrow. The satellite will be sent to the space using GSLV Mark II rocket. The launch will be very, very special to India because it's ISRO's 100th mission, and particularly the mission aims to strengthen the second generation navigation satellite system, that is advanced navigation satellite system, which ISRO have been building and improving over time. The mission is called GSLV F-15 or NVS-02 mission and will carry the IRNSS-1K satellite. This satellite is a part of India's navigation satellite network. The NVS-02 is the second satellite in the new generation of navigation satellites and 9th satellite in Navik system. So, this is interesting news that is coming up from ISRO. We have to wait to celebrate 100th launch of ISRO. For next 48 hours we need to wait. Next important news, Center notifies Unified Pension Scheme for government employees. The Union Finance Ministry notified operationalization of Unified Pension Scheme as an option under the National Pension Scheme for central government employees from April 1st, 2025, which will ensure them guaranteed retirement benefits. Recently, the present government approved a new pension scheme called Unified Pension Scheme. Earlier, from 2004 to last year, we have a concept called new pension scheme, where the old pension scheme was removed and new pension scheme have come. There is a furor in many states and in the central government. Now, it's an option for the central government employee whether to adopt unified pension scheme. He can voluntarily adopt unified pension scheme. So, the unified pension scheme shall be applicable to all the central government employees who are covered under national pension scheme, and it's an option. They can choose this option under national pension scheme. It's not compulsory. It's an option for them. They can opt for it. Next, Madhya Pradesh government bans liquor in 17 religious towns. The Madhya Pradesh government announced a ban on liquor at 17 places of worships across the state. The Chief Minister Mohan Yadav said that the liquor shops in these places will be closed permanently. So, the liquor shops in some religious towns, in 17 religious towns in Madhya Pradesh, will be closed permanently. Omkareshwar, Maheshwar, Mandaleshwar, Orcha, Chitrakoot, Amarkantak, Salkanpur, Barmankala, Linga, Kundalpur, Bandakpur, Baramkund, etc. Next, Delhi High Court recently said travelling abroad is a constitutional right. A Delhi High Court have directed that Delhi High Court said the right to freedom of movement includes travelling abroad and the same is the constitutional right of the applicant. If you could remember, Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, right to go abroad is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution, personal liberty. If that right is denied, there should be a reason, and the reason should be just and fair. It should not be arbitrary, artificial or evasive. There should be a reason. The reason should be just and fair. It should not be arbitrary, artificial or evasive. And one syndrome is coming up in news. One syndrome is coming up in news. in the another few days, if you observe, that syndrome will be more and more into news. Guillain-Barré syndrome. Guillain-Barré syndrome. Maharashtra has witnessed its first death, first fatality. Maharashtra has witnessed its first death or first fatality due to Guillain-Barré syndrome. This is in news. Guillain-Barré syndrome. A Pune resident succumbed to the illness. The victim, a chartered accountant, has been experiencing diarrhea for several days before visiting hospital. After feeling weak, he sought treatment at a hospital in Solapur, where doctors diagnosed him with Guillain-Barré syndrome. Despite showing signs of improvement and being transferred out of ICU, the patient developed complications and died. Now, question is not about who got it. Question is about what is Guillain-Barré syndrome. What is this Guillain-Barré syndrome? That is very, very important. Guillain-Barré syndrome is an autoimmune disorder. It's an autoimmune disorder in which human body's immune system attacks the nerves, leading to sudden weakness, numbness, and in some cases paralysis. It's an autoimmune disorder. It suddenly attacks our nervous system, then will be suddenly become weak, numb, and finally it might cause paralysis. Sometimes in the extreme cases it may lead to death also. Common symptoms of Guillain-Barré syndrome are diarrhea, stomach pain, fever, nausea. Early diagnosis is crucial for preventing life-threatening complications. And more importantly, if you see Guillain-Barré syndrome, the pronunciation we have to call it as Guillain-Barré. Okay, Guillain-Barré. It's a bacterial infection. It's a bacterial infection. It is an autoimmune disorder. It's a rare neurological disorder in which a person's immune system mistakenly attacks part of our peripheral nervous system. It can lead to paralysis. Guillain-Barré syndrome, Guillain-Barré, increases intensity over a certain period after being suddenly attacking our nervous system. In its final stage, certain muscles in the human body cannot be used at all. Guillain-Barré syndrome can affect anyone, any gender, any age. But most often, adults and older people who are 50 and 50 plus, they are susceptible to this syndrome. Symptoms: muscle weakness is a key symptom. If untreated, it may lead to paralysis also. Cure: there is no cure for Guillain-Barré syndrome. Treatment includes plasma exchange or immunoglobulin therapy. In Maharashtra, Health Ministry believes that this autoimmune disorder developed after a gastrointestinal or respiratory disease. So this disease will be trending for the next 3 to 4 days in the newspapers. You might get direct prelim seat question, what is Guillain-Barré syndrome? So it is an autoimmune disorder which mistakenly affects our nervous system. Sometimes it can lead to paralysis also. Similar news are very, very important which you need to understand. And very bad news is coming up from Trump. Trump imposes sanctions on Colombia over migrant flights, triggers tariff war. Actually, Colombia and America they are friendly nations. Colombia have a leftist government, Mr. Petro. Colombia have a leftist government. He got elected, I think, in 2022, Mr. Petro. Earlier, they are very good close, but now Donald Trump wanted to send back all the illegal immigrants to Colombia back. Colombia is not accepting. So he is threatening Colombia. Almost he started tariff war and sanctions on Colombia and many other measures on Colombia. After Donald Trump has turned a friendly nation, Colombia, into an enemy by imposing sanctions and 25% tariffs over migrant flights dispute. In a major move, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, has announced the introduction of 25% tariffs on a range of imports from US. So even Colombian president now decided to impose tariffs on US also, because there was a war. It's a tariff war, not a real war, it's a tariff war. The decision is a shift in the country's trade agenda and could have a wide economic impact with respect to its largest trading partner, America. In a dramatic turn of events, Colombia have become the first country to reject US deportation flights. Colombia have become the first country to reject US deportation flights, offering instead its own planes to bring back Colombians living illegally in US. The move comes as tensions rise between the two nations, with US responding by imposing significant tariffs and sanctions. Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus is set to win in the next elections in Belarus. From the last 30 years, I am listening only Lukashenko, no one else. It's not a true election. The election results will be decided before the elections. The results of the elections will be decided before the elections. Namesake, there will be elections, but it's almost controlled elections. This is a story. You read about the story that is coming up now. Belarus elections, Lukashenko is all set to win again in Belarus.